Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for tuning back in to Listen to Pleasure, your favorite untraditional podcast. Well, this is season two, episode one. And today, we're going to just do some information and talking about a very, very important business, the trucking business. We got a couple of guys that's well educated that's going to speak from their point of view, answer any questions and give you from their experiences. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce y'all. All right, make sure you still on. Introduce y'all to one of my co-hosts for the day. As y'all all know, hey, he could talk and he's very strong with his opinion. And bring to the stage my man, Mouthfall Mikey.
What up? What up? What up? What up? How
What's
you, bro?
going on? Cooling, man. Maintaining. I can't complain. I'm here, as the old people say. Okay, Mike has some issues. So these next guys, when I bring them in, I'm gonna let them introduce themselves and state how long they've been in the trucking business, what side of the business, what they got going on, a little short introduction. First to the stage, we're gonna welcome BJ. What up? What up? What's going on, B?
What's happening? What's happening?
What's going on? Not much.
What's happening? Uh, BJ, my name BJ. Trucking business, 3 years. I'm a preemie. I consider myself newborn or whatever. Um,
What's
started off with the tractors, the road tractors. Gradually got into the dump truck. Got rid of the road tractor. Now I'm in the dump truck. Got three of them operating right now.
big boy?
That's pretty much it.
No question. Welcome to the stage.
Oh,
Next up, I'm gonna introduce
what up?
guys. My cousin, he just love the support. He jump on. Guess you call him co-host or just regular on the show, whatever. Y'all welcome to the stage, Martez.
Oh, peace, everybody, man. Martez. Some people call me Marty. It's good to be here. I'm still on the road right now, but looking forward to the show. Import export guy here, non-profit, all that kind of stuff.
That's what's up. Next guy we welcome to the stage. I known this brother for a good minute. Trucking gang, riding out, bikes the whole nine. Y'all welcome to the stage, Face.
What up, Face? Trucking
What's
business
going on?
about 20 years. Uh, got a few trucks, and that's about it.
And last but not least, my brother George. If you in the container business and you're local, somehow, one way or another, you know about my man George. Y'all welcome to the stage, George.
Hey everybody, George Berry here. Got into transportation through the Army as a cargo specialist for 8 years, and then into transition to civilian world as a trucker. Started with DD Jones here in the local 757 area. Became an owner operator. Also now an agent, a terminal manager in the city of Chesapeake with under Pioneer Transport. Uh, and also the founder and director of Ford Truckers by Truckers, a grassroots organization advocating for port drivers in the Hampton Roads area. Thanks for inviting me, Rob.
No problem. I thank all you guys for getting on. This was something we was planning on doing, and took a little while to get back to it due to some injuries and some other setbacks. But we're here now. I actually had, and I was looking to see was they on. I had two viewers that was asking to do this episode, and I don't know if they on yet. But nevertheless, we're here. First of all, I want to start off with just this simple thing here. A lot of people don't realize that trucking runs the world. Like people just look at oh, that's big dumb trucks, and they don't realize without the trucking shut down, the country shut down. Like that's facts. And so I'm gonna just start off with this simple question here. A lot of you guys, I think everybody said trucking pretty much. How long has most of you had your CDLs, or you use it for other reasons, whether it was commercial busing or anything of that nature?
20 years.
3 years.
Be
I
about
got
20
mine
years for me.
2006, I believe, when I finally got my CD. 2006 for me, off and on. All right. So let's start off with something that was big in this area. We're gonna go straight to it. With the strike at the port. Me personally, I wasn't driving at the time. I seen a little bit of pieces of it on the news. So I guess we could talk about it. What was the initial, from what we know, what was the initial cause for the strike? Anybody know anything about that? What was the initial cause for the strike? I gotta
Uh,
look now. For my other.
well,
Yes.
I certainly could speak to that if you like, Rob.
Okay.
Uh, I I would say some of the needs that the longshoremen, actually their master contract was up. Every 6 years, apparently they renew their contract, and the East Coast longshoremen, they were seeking certain, I guess you could say, clauses in their contract, like a substantial pay increase, hearing somewhere around 77% over the next 6 years, as well as they wanted to eliminate the automation and any semi-automation. They'd like to see that sort of go away at all these port terminals. And they were preparing to go on strike at about nearly 3 dozen ports from Maine all the way down to Texas. So it was a huge impact to the supply train. Excuse me, the supply chain, and it was just a tremendous disruption to commerce in general. So I believe those were the main uh, issues regarding the strike. I think there was also some talk about some benefits and things of that nature, but the pay increase and the no automation were the key points.
Okay. Now we know. So the with the computers and the robots and the automation, how big an effect would you think that? I know it hurts the port as the workers, as far as the drivers. Do you think it slow down, speed up? How would it affect the ports? And let's go with this area alone. Of course, you know they got to upgrade to it.
Right. So I think most drivers initially it was probably a little bit of pushback because they weren't too sure about how the automation would work. But I think as time has went on, I think drivers are not dealing with the frustrations of longshoremen, seeing them face to face on a regular basis. We deal with a reservation system now. We scan our badges, they read our RFID transponder, and it just makes the process move more efficiently, I believe, as a whole for this general area. I myself, I prefer to just deal with the automation. I think it does move quickly when it's functioning as it should, because we know all robotics and things like that have their glitches and issues. But I think it's been a welcome advantage here in our area.
Gee,
Understand?
I gotta disagree with that one though.
Okay, come on with
I
it.
I gotta say that to me and a lot of other drivers that I deal with or talk to. And I mean, George, you was out there when it was PMT, the old PMT, and you had the
Mm-hmm.
checkers in the booth. I remember very good trucking. So, at the end of the day, uh, it's one of those things, man. Like it seemed that we moved faster when it wasn't the automation. Remember when they first opened VIG, it was all of these promises. What they tell us, 20 minutes, you'd be
Mm-hmm.
in and out, and it's never been that unless it was a Saturday morning. That's the only time you're gonna go, between 7 and 11 on a Saturday, unless they have, you at a company with the Walmart where they'll get the gate on Sunday. But outside of that, I mean, the crazy wait times, you're waiting in stacks. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, there's going to be a wait. And we know HUD, and there are certain companies that can back in and get immediate service and will go before you, whether you were there before them or not.
Well, I would say also I can remember the time where PMT and Sealand was I could take it even far back as Sealand. That's how
Yeah,
long
yeah.
we've been out here in the game. But having to deal with them RMTs where you had to kind of get in this long line and be serviced, or the RMT would move over to a whole other stack and leave you sitting there, or the guy would takes him about 20 minutes to climb out of the RMT to
George froze up. Oh, that's me. Y'all still hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
Okay, yeah, he froze up. But that's a good topic. We get back. Oh no, he back.
oh,
He might be back.
okay.
There you go.
I'm sorry, was it
Yeah,
me that froze up?
yeah,
Yeah.
you back. You
Oh,
good?
sorry guys. But yeah, I was saying
You still chopping and
must
freezing
be
for a
me guys.
second.
I'm really sorry about that. But
No, you
yeah,
cool. You back.
I'll
You
let
back now.
somebody else pick up where I left off at. Sorry if there's some interruptions with the internet.
Hey, it happens, brother. It happens. But we're gonna go to a question real quick. Uh, let's see. We had one viewer ask a question. Put the question up on the screen. Good question. Depending on where you went. So they asked, Visual Creations asked, was it hard to obtain your CDL when you got your CDL? Let me go for me personally. For me, no. I went to I went to Tidewater Community College. Mike Van was the instructor. It was a nice long class. They teach you everything. Like they're gonna walk you through the process, and actually, they love to make sure they give out 100% rate. So their test that they're going to give you before you even do the DMV test, if you fail their test, you can't do the DMV. So going through them, they really gonna get you right before you go in. That's my opinion. It wasn't hard. You just pay attention, and they're gonna prep you. They're gonna walk you right through it. They're gonna give you a routine. If you follow their routine, it become muscle memory, and you walk through it. From my point of view.
I went to Shipper's Choice myself when it was Thomas Nelson. I think they changed the name of the college now. During the whole woke movement, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
something else now. But I can tell you, I went through Shipper's Choice. I know a lot of guys who went through Shipper's Choice in this area. I did while I was still serving, so it was tuition free for me. But I know a lot of other guys had to get their money up. So I know, what is it, around $5,000 or so to go to school now? Somewhere around about. Uh, I think they even had some grant programs for lady truckers. I seen them practicing at the old TCC off of College Drive in Suffolk area. But when they were looking for more lady truckers, so I think
Yeah,
it's
that's probably
still
Mike Van and the crew because they used to be at the
yeah,
TCC right there when you come through the what is
tunnel.
it, the Harbor
Yeah,
View? Yeah, through the tunnel.
yeah, yeah. The unfortunate part is, it seems like a lot of them are just being trained on automatics these days. So when you get a driver, if you own a truck and you're trying to get a driver now, many of them only know how to drive an automatic, and I think that's disheartening for a lot of the truck owners and truck investors in this area.
That's automation though. That's automation. They don't want that manual action. They just, push the pedal and go. That's the
Use a lot
crazy
of
part.
use a lot of
I'm
power and shifting in
I'm many.
it.
So,
So
Oh
first,
yeah, B, you love the automatic.
I'm mini.
Oh
so
no, I
so
got
first,
automatics. Don't, hey man, and don't get me wrong. You know, you can do all right. I'm not saying that I got an automatic that I might drive every now and then, but it's just something about the gears and you being able to control the truck more that makes it more enjoyable to me anyway.
Me too. That's how I feel.
Well, I mean, it depends on how well versed are you in the different transmissions of the automatics. So you got people that own it. You know, it's a couple different transmissions out there in the automatics.
Oh,
You
I
got
know.
the Eaton transmission that I don't even drive a stick. I've been in a stick, but I'm pretty sure, from my understanding of a manual, that Eaton transmission shifts just like a stick. So
Oh no.
it gives you the breakdown and the climb up in gears the same way. So
From the eating I've been in here with, the company I was with, if they think it dry like a stick, that mean they're doing a lot of jerking because they do some jerking in there first. It do some. Am I
now
lying though? It do some.
I'm saying it in the sense in the Eaton transmission, you can't just like all right, a Allison transmission automatic, that junk it drives like a car. You hit
Yeah,
the gas, she gonna go. Eaton transmission, I shift transmission, you hit that gas, she ain't going nowhere.
yeah,
Like
that's how they eat and do. Them
yeah,
first two
she ain't
gears, that it's gonna slow, then it's gonna jerk,
it
then the second one gonna pick up a little faster,
so
and then
so
it's
it, so in a sense it teaches you how to handle that truck. You see what I'm saying? It teaches you not to hit that gas too hard because you ain't going nowhere. What you hitting the gas for? Which in
yeah,
Yeah,
but you could
similarity
you could.
would be a stick too, right?
yeah.
Uh,
I just think knowing
kind
how
of,
to drive
I
a
get what you're
stick.
saying, but
Go
I
ahead,
say
Sly.
a little difference on with the stick. You got that heavy load. You know, I don't know. I get what you're saying. I just leave it at. I get what you're saying. Go ahead, George.
And
You was about to say something.
No, I was just gonna say I think it's just good to learn a stick. I just wish the students were learning that anybody can pretty much get in there and work an automatic. Versus you tell that driver who only knows how to drive an automatic to go move that truck that's a basic 10 speed, and they get in there and they're like, I don't know what to do here. It's not the case the other way around. So I just wish they were teaching them the manual as well. That's just my argument with it.
I
I mean,
agree. I think that should be.
it's I guess it's choice. Like I don't mind driving a stick. Dump truck, you know me. Like I mean I don't mind driving a stick, but I don't have to. So if I
No, I dig
it's
what you're saying from your point of view. I'm
it
just saying,
yeah,
like,
it's a choice. It's a choice. It's my it's what's my flavor. Like I
but
mean,
here,
if I don't have to drive, it's other options. I believe if automatics was in abundance when all y'all 20-year veterans was out here getting y'all license, automatics was in abundance. I think y'all would have took automatics too.
it's give or take. I say it on this because here's where the sticks come, in my opinion. Like, if you really don't know how to drive that stick, and then I put you in a truck, I can't send you up and down the hills if you don't know how to work them sticks.
But
You can't control them
why would you do that?
because that's where the load going. I got to get the
No, I'm
load
talking about
delivered.
no. Why would you put somebody that don't know how to drive the stick in a
Okay,
stick?
say you operate a
at,
truck. You
at
know,
the
all the
at the end of
automatics
the
break
day,
down, and we got to put you in the stick truck to get this load delivered. You the driver. You say I could drive it a little bit.
No, no, you don't do that. That's where you messed up at. I can drive. You gonna go with I can drive it a little bit? No. You know the
Or
danger.
how many drivers gonna tell you they can't? How many
at,
drivers
hey
gonna say they
man,
really
at the
can
end
drive?
of the day though, at the end of the day, let's agree to say we have a craft that not everybody can do. Why limit
Right.
yourself to the craft that you have? Or why put yourself in a window where all I can drive is an automatic? Like he was
Lessening your
saying,
opportunities.
they need to have both taught, not just one. Because
Yeah.
unless you go with maybe a newer or mega carrier, you're not guaranteed to get an automatic. So then
Right.
you're limited to where you can work or limited to
Right.
what you can drive. At the end of the
Right.
day, Allison Transmission made buses. That's who always made the transmissions for buses back in the day. So Allison is going to be a better transmission, hands down, because they've already been through the learning curve. But
Mm-hmm.
when you have the newer transmissions, they're just learning it. Allison had it and they still have it. So
Your
it's gonna definitely drive easier. But
so
I've
your found
driven and my automatic is not, it ain't no jerk. I mean, it goes like push the pedal and it'll go. But I get what you're saying. And
your
there's no
foundation
debate in it.
your foundation question was we need it. Why not learn it? Let me. You said you've been in the game what 20 years, right?
Yes, sir.
You got all your endorsements
Yes, sir.
or every last one of them.
I don't do hazmat. It doesn't pay me enough.
Well, I mean,
And
but why not have it then? Why not have it
because
then?
I'm not gonna do it because I have that choice.
And that's the choice we say with the stick.
I knew he was coming with
But
it.
but ho. That's a choice of what we do, not how we can do. See, you
Mm.
can't miscommunicate the two or misconstrue them. Having both options to drive is different than what I want to haul. You see what I'm saying? I
Mm.
can make money regardless, but if you only have a automatic restriction and you go to a company that's going to put you where you want to be and they have manual transmissions, at the end of the day you can't work there. You
I,
see
I
what I'm
go to
saying?
I go to another company.
Okay,
It's
but
it's
that
it's it's limited out here in terms of companies. I mean,
okay.
I think a lot of the, I
Where
think
where where
80%
at?
of the
Where
companies out here are independent, are agents, or mostly the motor carriers out here are like agents, and or they have their own authority. So it's not, the company driver model is not as big as it used to be when C&K and Rubber Meets the Road and some of those other larger carriers have kind of went away from the company model. So over the road, yes, but locally, I think that's gonna be a little difficult to find that.
I'm gonna disagree with that because we I'm around here now trying to start an organization trying to blackball these in the way drivers for the, to keep them from coming over here turning up my shit. Then I find they come right to you. You gonna hire them because you need them. You don't want their truck sitting. So so I'm gonna disagree with that because it's a lot of. In matter of fact, I'm sitting right behind one right now that's in the way driver.
Hey, listen, man. Drivers going. That's what they do. They gonna tear some shit up. We all done
Ain't no
told some
question.
shit up.
So that's what I'm saying. So to speak on the point they said it ain't no. It's in there everywhere. Like you got man. Listen, you got them CDLs. I ain't even gonna hold you. Every person that with their CDLs, I tell them like you tell them. I don't tell them learn to stick. I don't tell them. I tell them learn. If they get their class A's, I tell them learn both games, dump truck
Mm-hmm.
and tractor trailer. Then I tell them, don't even lock in with nobody. I tell them be a contractor. You can be a contractor as a CDL driver, 1099. You can call it whatever you want to call it, and auction yourself off to the highest bidder. You just got to know what you're doing when you're doing. You got to keep that record straight. But far as forcing somebody to, do the manual, I honestly it's to me what I experienced. It's more. It's maybe because I'm in the dump truck world now, but I started with a tractor, but it's more automatics out here than manuals. I don't know what y'all think.
I think in the dump truck world, it's way more automatics than in the other. Just from my opinion, and I'm removed a lot, but that's where it seems. Mike, my bad, man. I know you was asking a question a good minute ago before we go to another viewer question. You was saying something? Go
Uh,
ahead.
I just want to say, like, as a baby brother, I had a moving company. I used to drive box trucks, but I done drove all the way across the country. Before that, like, I ain't think driving was that serious of a job, and like I just wanted to show respect. Like
yeah, man, it's a whole different world. It's a whole different world. Um, Having to drive through mountains and snowstorms and rainstorms. So I salute y'all in the career path because it's definitely not as easy as it look or as easy as they give y'all credit for.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's answer. Man, these two questions, they're good questions, but I want to ask them a little later when we get into something we will get into. So, Caroline and Vonda, I see y'all questions. We're gonna ask them in a second because they're gonna go into something else we talking to. Um, speaking on speaking on that, let's just go to something that someone had. So, what do you guys feel like are some of the biggest mistakes drivers make when they first get their CDLs? Like things that could be avoided. That's a good question, huh?
If
Not
I had to answer
respecting.
that, I would say, uh, listening to look. Don't hurt nobody, but their instructor from the school that they left that barely taught their ass something and just pushed them out of the way just for the check.
Yeah, your instructor can't get you right on this job. You gotta listen and fill
Yeah,
it out for yourself. I feel what
a
you're saying.
hundred
Go ahead,
percent.
go ahead. Face was about to say something.
Now, just respect the fact that you got the license and don't disrespect your license. It's not
Correct.
worth it.
Yeah, we'd have been them days.
Yeah.
Think one of the biggest mistakes, and I'm gonna go with this. When you come into the trucking game, you gonna get around a lot of veterans that shorten the pre trips and shorten the post trips and etc. Like that becomes a bad habit to for now become shorten it to not even doing it. Everybody guilty. I don't care who you are. You got your CDL. You skipped over something. You do it, and then sometimes just come on routine. You rushing. You get in there at 2 in the morning. You gonna make sure it got some fluid. You gonna make sure the air pressure build up, and you hauling ass. That's it. You ain't checking nothing else. So I just think stick to your pre trips. You ain't got to make it a whole hour, 2 hour pre trip. Just get it done. That's just from my point of view. Mike, I know you had some questions. You guys, one of your questions before I go into the viewers' questions.
Uh, this one I ain't even seen. As
George,
a
you know you're on mute. You mean to do that?
Yeah, I was keeping on mute. Didn't want to make
Okay.
sure I
I
didn't
just
have
wanted to
anything
make
back
sure. I
on.
just wanted to make sure because I had
Yeah,
my clicker over and I didn't know if I did it.
no, you're
uh,
fine.
My bad. All right. Go ahead, Mike.
if a person trying to get into being an owner operator, what would be um the best way to start the process and the most efficient way based off buying a truck?
Get you a mechanic first. Get you a mechanic before you get the truck.
Well, that's kind of like this question here. So I put this on the screen also as we answering that. It was what was the hardest part of y'all becoming a truck owner? So I'll let one. Well, I
Buying
never owned
buying
the
your
truck. Oh,
first
go ahead.
truck, buying your first truck and the worryation of having it, the worryation of the breakdowns, the possibilities of it, the struggle, the beginning struggle, and not and this kind of goes to what my man was saying about, you know, what were the mistakes that were made. A lot of times drivers will jump in the game because they feel like I can make some money, but they don't calculate or think about the cost of owning a truck, driving a truck, breakdowns of a truck, And then when they get into that situation, they ready to run and jump into something else. You gotta, if you're gonna be about it, you gotta stick to it, and you gotta put the work in. You're gonna have good, you're gonna have bad, but it's a learning process the whole time you're doing it. Whether you a year in, or 20 years in, or 30 years in, you can always learn something. So be open minded and listen and learn and pay attention. Uh, as far as the pre-trip situation though, I must say that for me having trucks, I'm still kind of hands on to where, and you notice I'll be in my shop on the weekend, greasing, adjusting brakes, changing tires, whatever, to make sure that I have the peace of mind of knowing that my equipment is safely going down the road, and it's not anything that I got to worry about getting pulled over about.
Facts. I say,
Yeah.
go ahead, George.
Oh no, I was just gonna piggyback off of what Faye said. He had a lot of great answers there. I would say the inherent risk is usually at top of everyone's mind when you're getting into this business. I myself am on my third truck now. I'm going through the truck replacement program currently, and luckily, I had some good friends of mine. I actually, one of my drivers, even, they looked over the truck with me. Another friend of mine, Cedric, he came and brought his adapter to plug into the ECM of the truck, and just so he can check it out and run it, see what the soot level was. Because a lot of these trucks now have the DPF system and so on and so forth. So he was able to check out what codes had been in the truck recently. So, and he brought his creeper over, so I was able to get underneath the truck and see what was going on underneath. Because they do a nice little paint job before they ready to sell it to you. Y'all not hear somebody laughing, so they know what I'm talking about. So they
Can't
doll
promise
it
a
up real
third.
nice for you. And but you got to look beyond that. You got to look for any rust and things of that nature underneath there, any leaks and things of that nature. So I think having extra pair of eyes. I think somebody talked about a mechanic earlier, but just an extra pair of eyes with guys who've been in the industry for a long time and know what to look for, who may have some familiarity with that certain brand of truck. For instance, mine is a Peterbilt. Everybody was saying, "Hey, stay away from PACCAR. Stay away from PACCAR." That's all I kept hearing. So guess what? I stayed away from PACCAR. I found one with an ISX engine, a Cummins engine, and I'm a Detroit '60s guy. So going to a Cummins was like, okay, maybe I'll try it out. And the biggest thing is automatics. That's also an adjustment, but that's
Why they
just
say
some
stay?
tips I
Why
want
they
to
say
add.
stay? Why they say stay away from Packard?
I guess it's just been synonymous with issues and trouble with PACCAR. So they said the Cummins engine works the best with the emission systems or DPF system, just from other people's experience. So I got a lot of different advice from different folks. So I just paired up what was the similarities and put it all together to decide what I want to do.
They know
What's your
Cummins
what's
make
your
pack. You know Cummins make Packard, right?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, you get.
See, I learned. See how you learn new information.
Yeah, you can get your parts for Packard. I got three of them. That's why I got three Packard engines.
Mhm. Okay.
what's what's your thoughts on that, E?
Uh, I don't want to be. I'm gonna just say that PACCAR makes Peterbilt and KW, and they have motors as well. Um, Cummins was around before PACCAR, way before. But the issues with the PACCAR motors are why a lot of people stay away from them. Just like the International and the Max Force, they didn't do good. So they came out with a plan to rebuild the Max for us. But by then, it was so bad that they didn't want to come in anymore and have to do all of the repairs and rebuild motors. Uh, and I know, dump trucks are different than road tractors. The miles would be different for the most part. 100 miles, maybe one way is pushing it, but the local city miles are harder on the trucks, but the longer miles wear the motor down more. So I think that's, you can have a good motor in any motor you get, I guess, depending upon how you use it. But that's pretty much it.
That MX-13 in my that MX-13 in my tractor that I just sold maybe 6 months ago. I sold it. It had 830 up there when I sold it. That dude, that guy still running that truck. He running that MX-13, same motor, to California at least 3 times a week, 2 and 3 times a week. Mr. Ed over there at Sonic. I don't know if y'all. He been in the game a long time. Sonic Transportation. I don't know if any of y'all fellas know him, but Mr. Ed, he do a lot of government stuff.
You talking about it used to be something else though, it was another name before.
I mean, I met him when he was. I met him. I ain't get too deep into his business,
Oh
but
yeah, is he still over there where in the industrial park in Hampton?
yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Ed. He got a lot of. That's my truck is the newest truck he got on his lot. A lot of
Okay.
his truck, yeah, a lot of his trucks is older trucks, but my truck, I had a 2017, and I ran it over the road. I ran it over the road. It's like I said, I mean, but I get it. When I got in the game, that was my first engine, and like I said, I only been in the game 3 years, and I had people that been in the game long, and they didn't even know what a Packard engine was 3 years ago.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
But for one thing I can say about you though, B, and a lot of some of these local dudes and he be on this shit too. Like, B, you gonna stay on your truck. So first sign to getting something,
and
you
that's
gonna
what
get it to the
that
shop.
and that's what
You
that's
gonna
what
be
I
on
was
top
gritty.
of it.
That's what I was gritty to say. I
That
mean,
makes a big difference.
because what I got from a lot of people was like, they just was regurgitating what somebody else was saying. Not to say that ain't bad or good, but if you ain't do your own research, don't tell me what Face told you. If Face ain't
Yeah,
give you no basis behind it, you see what I'm saying?
yeah.
Don't tell. And I'm just using you, Face, not to pick, bro. I'm just saying because you've been in the game,
man, you
or
picking, man. Go ahead, get your thing off, man. Go ahead,
I
go
I
ahead.
could have used George. I could have used George's name too, but I mean that's what I got a lot of when it came to that Packard engine.
Yeah,
To ain't nobody know what it did. A year and a half later, now everybody, oh, Cummins did this. Cummins, because I've been interchanged. I've been going to Cummins getting my parts. Hell, I go to Norfolk Truck and get parts like for my engine. Like
yeah,
I just got to give them the engine serial number. I can't give them because I got Kenworths. I had
yeah,
Hmm.
Kenworths, so what I mean. That's so I seen the change so quick. Now don't get it. I got a MX-13 and I got a Packard 9. The Packard 9, you might as well put that in your motherfucking SUV. You understand me? You put
yeah,
you put that joint in your SUV. But
You put it in the dually. Put it in
yeah,
the
put
yeah,
dually.
yeah, no, don't even put it in the dually. Put that motherfucker put it in the Yukon. But cause that junk, you ain't even gotta give it a hill, give it a two tall speed bump, loaded, and your ass in trouble. You understand? But so I've been fighting with him for the past 3 years. Maybe that I'm not passionate about it. I don't care. But like Rob said, I'm gonna take care of wherever I get my oil changes ritually. You know what I mean? Every 10, at the most I might do 13,000. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get my oil change. I'm gonna change my water separators. I'm gonna change. I don't play no games, so I ain't really had no problems. Especially out of the MX-13, I had more problems out of the 9 than I had the MX-13. The truck I'm in right now, MX-13, I ain't had no problem out of the engine. and I'm knocking at the door 400. I'm knocking at the door 400 right now.
That's but see, that's the whole thing. And that's one thing that, when people say, "Oh, I'm trying to learn and I'm this," a lot of the drivers that are coming in the game now are not focusing on the maintenance. They're not thinking about, they
I was
just
about to
driving
ask.
the truck. And if you don't do your maintenance, your truck is gonna break faster than if you did the maintenance. And I know that the dump trucks are crazy because, with those suspensions and that
They,
city driving, you turn them, so you gotta be on them every week. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
Walker
I'm
beams
But
get
I'm gonna
tore up
give you
quick.
maintenance
I'm
is
gonna
the
give you
main thing.
I'm gonna give you what I gave DOT one day, right? He let me go. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm gonna give you what I gave DOT one day. He wanted to write me up for a marker light. I said, boss man, these trucks going on road, off road, 10 to 12 hours a day, on road to off road. I say that light worked when I started. I say if you was going off road to on road, something be loose on your ass too. And he just and he let me alone. Now what I tell them drivers, like you just said, them drivers, you know what I tell them drivers? Cause I mean you probably done ran into them. Every driver I done ran into, they got aspirations behind their own truck one day. I mean oh yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just trying to work. I'm just trying to work till I get my truck. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. So I give them this piece right here. I said, well, listen. If you got aspirations to get your own truck, guess what? This your training ground right here. Cause how you treat this truck is how you gonna
Bad
treat your
habits.
truck.
You're gonna develop bad habits quick.
It's default.
yeah,
We creatures of habit. I don't want to
yeah.
Yeah.
hear. I don't want to hear you gonna take care of yours better. No, your default settings gonna put you in that truck, your truck, the same way it put you in my truck. And you know what I
Facts.
mean. So if you want to learn how to treat your truck, you can learn it right here. Pay attention, and you can learn it right here. So that's what I tell them. I mean, it go in most of them one ear and come out the other, but I don't press it no because they most of them just talking anyway.
Listen, man. What you just said is something, and I'm gonna say his name because it's true. And everybody on here, George Norm, Face Norm. I used to work for Larry Battle. I used to tell him the same shit like you said. I say, listen, man. I don't make my real story. I say, listen, man. That DOT man, we talking about lights and some more shit. I can say something about that. But them bald ass tires, I can't tell that man them tires was groove and legit when I pulled off. You know what I'm saying? So them tires and shirt. If it's something I can make up an excuse and say, listen, when I left, that light was working or this was there. But them tires and the other shit, man, come on, man, we gotta be right with it.
Hey,
And
hey,
Larry,
Oh
Rob,
Larry,
hey,
all
man,
right
Rob,
with me on
hey,
certain
Rob,
level. Yeah,
hey, hey, dump truck, you done ran into some slum lords, so I know you done ran into some slum owners.
man. Listen, you
man.
see how hard they laugh, and I mean, but he one of them dudes, and I'm just gonna keep it real, man. You know what I mean? I done went back and worked for him several times. He one of them dudes.
Mm.
If you ain't gonna do it, somebody else will. And he got some people that's gonna, man, they're jumping that shit, everything falling off. Zip tag king. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna tell you straight up. Everything zip tag. Listen, man, I ain't doing that, man. So
Boy, it's raining outside. You ride down the road, you can see air coming out the tires.
it's like you got some Mickey Thompsons on the back of that mug. Go ahead, Mike. I know you had a question. Go ahead. Then I'm gonna get to two or three of these viewer questions.
Oh no, 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 y'all good. I, nah, yeah, y'all good. Y'all good.
All right, I know you got some good coming up. So let me get back to two of these questions real quick. Let's see. Uh, what made you get into trucks? Did something inspire you to do it? All right, that's for me. For me, just growing up when I was young, I always had a fascination with motorcycles, fast cars, fire trucks, loud trucks. You know what I mean? When I was little, we used to play with trucks. I had, the little trucks. We used to go out in the dirt, take the popsicle stick, make a little track. We gonna put the trucks, race car tracks, bag them up, do the whole nine. So I always had a fascination with it. And then I talked about it a lot. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be honest. I just talk about it a lot. And I was like, man, I'm gonna go get my CDLs, and I'm gonna say it how he said. Face on here. He be like, man, I'm driving there, so you bullshit. You ain't gonna get no CDLs. I'm like, nah, I got it. So he pulled up one day. He got his Peterbilt. Fat Rob, what you gonna do, man? You out? Just gonna be honest. This is you out here on the corner doing all this bullshit. Blah 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 blah. Come on, get in the truck, man. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, damn. Then one of my homeboys got in the trucking, and then one day I was just sitting on that when he got with the slowest trucking company in the world, got with Swift. The guy was Swift, and that was that, and then been with trucks ever since. And it was the
I
real
think
metal boys.
I'm thinking
But
my fascination, started off as a youngster, just like most of everybody else, and to this day, you see the young kid, doing the blow your horn, symbol, this universal, and I give that love back because at some point or another, I was that little kid in the back seat, trying to, get the truck to blow their horn or whatever. So I reciprocate that now because I see myself in whoever that kid is that does that. So yeah, I think it started for me there, the fascination of big trucks.
See, all y'all had y'all license for a long time. Y'all got them sweet stories. I'm gonna go ahead and give you my stories. I ain't want my damn license. Lazy ass damn drivers, anyway ass drivers made me get my license. I had to show them motherfuckers I don't need you, goddamn it. I'm gonna come clean. I'm with the new age people, y'all. Hey, I was forced to get my license, guys.
yeah, you're right though. You got some, you might as well know how to use it.
Yeah, I was forced. No, you ain't got to use it. I just was. You ain't had to get them. I just wasn't gonna let my truck sit, and I had to show these people
But
I ain't need them. So,
this the way you look at it though. At the end of the day, right? When you sit back and you got your license, you look at the money that you making, but now you can understand when the drivers come to you with the bullshit, you don't have to, you know what I mean? You
oh,
understand the
a
lie
hundred
in the
percent,
game
100%. You're right, 100%. I'm
after
just,
you got that.
yeah, I was just adding to y'all glory stories. Mine won't just as glorious. I ain't sitting back in no back seat of my mama car and want to drive. I would never drive one of these big motherfuckers. hey, hey, I would never drive one. It one of these greasy ass drivers I had in the beginning. Goddamn, wanted to rock me to sleep. Goddamn it, no, I got to stick
Yeah.
to you. I'm
I
going out
do
there myself.
I do got a quick question.
But
So is there a difference when you go to one of these free paid training seat or free CDL schools compared to going to actual school to get your CDL license?
from my point of view, I could be wrong. I don't know. Somebody else, I'm messing up my thing. Somebody else could comment. The only free schools I know of is them dudes coming from the federal penitentiary, and I don't think nobody wanted to go to that school for free.
Now you know
Outside of that,
You got the John Illy class
oh
out
yeah,
here.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's right. I forgot. You right. Thanks for correcting me, man. I can stand the correction. My bad. Rewind. Yeah, I
What's
forgot
that?
John and Eric Montgomery and Newport News. They got the
Yeah, no,
free. Matter of fact,
no,
they
it
do a
ain't.
lot of free
I
classes.
call it John Illy because he promoted, but it ain't his
Yeah,
class. Yeah, but
yeah. John Illy, Eric Montgomery, and them dudes. They doing the free CDL. They doing free certified forklifts. They got a couple of classes down there in the Brooks Crossing Center or something like that. You right. I'm sorry about that. I had hit E to be on here tonight, but he said he was gonna let me know when he get off work, and I ain't never checked back to see. But you're right. I don't know.
now the
Mm,
difference, I would say the difference is in only difference is in the person who's going through the class and the person that's teaching the class. That's it. Your drive determines because like I'm one that I got my license in my truck. I was before you had to go to class. Like it's people still to this day arguing that like I only got my class B license, but I got my class A permit. I just ain't I didn't like I told you I was forced to get my license. So I had a pretty good tractor driver at the time. I didn't have to get my Class A license because I had a good tractor driver at the time. But my dump truck, I had to get them joints because I had to show them drivers. I had to show them drivers. But I done dealt with a lot of people that went through the free class versus the paid class, and like I said, it I know more information about trucking than they do coming fresh out of school because when I wanted to learn. I learned. I got my permit on my own. I studied on my own between YouTube, between the book, between the app, between what it was, the YouTube, the app, and the book. Them all three I studied on, and I just you just become a student of the craft for real, for real. So like I would say it depend on that's what I put it on the trainer and the trainees. So if you want to learn, you gonna learn. If you don't want to learn, it don't matter the trainer you got because you just gonna they gonna push you through. They want that money. They want that money. I mean, you going for free, but the government paying for it. So
Facts.
yeah, you going for free, but the government paying for it. So they gonna get their bag. They don't care what you learn because you ain't driving their one of their trucks when you finish.
How accredited is the school?
It's that Shipper's Choice shit. It's that Shipper's Choice and that Thomas Nelson shit. That's where they going. Shit.
For free?
For free.
Mm.
All you got to do is make less than $48,000 a year, and you can go there for free. They just raised it to 81,000 right now. They just did it, 81,000. There, you can get any one of them trades for the free.
Mm.
So
Yeah, they got a
so
lot of
so
stuff
so
they got going
so
on
say
down
that
there.
to say this. It shouldn't be a full couch nowhere in nobody's house right now.
Now,
Because basically you going to school, you going for free, but you going in the same class with guys that's paying for it. So
yeah.
it ain't no difference. You going to the same building, just certain many free
Oh yeah,
people
I didn't
per.
know it was Shipper's Choice though. I hadn't heard that name before.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Shipper Choice been had the payment plan before they had the grants before John and them started promoting it for real. But like
Okay,
I said, you had to make a certain it was a if you didn't know, you don't know. You had to be privy to the information. But the
I got you.
government been doing it. It hit after 2020. But you know but they was doing it way before 2020.
Mm.
I
So
had a cousin, huh?
George, when you went to Shipper's Choice, was it under the bridge down there on the Merrimack Tunnel? Was it under that bridge?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's
heck
where we
yeah.
did some of our training. We did
Training,
some
yeah.
of our in class before we got our permits. We did that on the campus of Thomas Nelson.
Yep.
So once we passed that, we got our permits. Then that's where we did that training. Was down at what was that? Is that
Uh huh.
Yeah.
Terminal Avenue or
Yeah, that's
something like
terminal.
that?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah.
terminal.
Was you
So that's
behind
where
Rack and
we
Sack
did.
too, George?
I'm sorry.
Were you behind Rack and Sack too on
No,
Murphy
not
Boulevard?
no for the training.
Yeah.
No, I know it's like a housing project at the time, but now they have, I think the church's chicken and everything is over that way, and
Yeah, he was there under the.
the a police station they have over there now. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's where we did
He
our
talking about terminal. He
behind the
talking about
wheel.
terminal.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we did back and under the tunnel, but we did like other stuff in the old Rack and Sack parking lot right
Oh
there on
yeah,
Murphy
Oh
Boulevard.
yeah, yeah,
Over there on
oh
Murphy, the
really?
dump truck where they building the rural farms at now.
yeah. I know what he's talking about.
Oh, okay. No, we were underneath the tunnel over that way.
All right,
They
so
got
I
a
got a
class
question.
up. They got a class up. They do training up. No, I think that's Thomas. Well, all of it really the same to me. They got classes up there in the Denver area. Now I forgot the name of the street, but they
They
do a
right
lot
there
of
by the
training up
James
there.
River Bridge still.
Huh?
I think
Yeah,
they're
they,
right there
they
by the James River Bridge too.
yeah, right there on Jefferson. He got that building
Yeah.
right there.
Oh, that's
Uh-huh.
Shipper
Yeah,
Choice build. Yeah, that's Shipper Choice actual building right there.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's their actual
I got a
building.
question that I want to ask you guys, being that you are all on the operators. I always think outside the box. Should it be capped off at a percentage that these brokers, companies, whatever, have can tax on the load before it's passed down. I think there should be a percentage that could be like a bar set. You can't go whether it's you can't go above 30% if you're passing that load down to a company, and a company can't go above below blah 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 before they give it on to the driver. You know what I'm saying? I think it should be capped out being we don't have no union or nothing like that. Like, should it be regulated state or countrywide or not at all?
Well, you know,
First of
Rob,
all,
my stance on this is I'm a huge advocate as far as them creating some sort of threshold or benchmark regarding rates dipping beneath a certain per mile rate. I think in 2024, our drivers should be making no less than $2 a mile doing anything intermodal. Would I like it to be more? Yes, but I think as long as we have a floor, then that would be a good thing. I mean, I've seen some motor carriers now doing, without mentioning names, doing like advanced North Carolinas, and they're only making $1.47 a mile to go there and go back. The drivers like it because it's consistency. It's even on weekends. But to me, I think that's beneath an owner operator's operating expense level. So I would like to see there be a cap, and that's what I've been pushing for. I've asked a lot of terminal owners and motor carriers in the area to see if they can sort of agree to create some sort of cap in terms of how low these rates go. I think it would be healthy for the industry. It's still competition, but at least our drivers are not out there beneath, their operating expense level. So I'm a big advocate for that, and I'm cheering that on. So that's my perspective.
I wanna ask a question though.
But
George, you said $2 a mile. Is that what you saying you want to pay the drivers in your truck?
No, I'm saying owner operators in general.
Okay, okay. That's I try to, well, at the end of the day, after the strike did happen, the rates did come up a lot. I
Well,
don't
that
I
was
don't
because of demand initially, of course. Yeah, supply and demand type of market. It's going to do that. Sorry to interrupt, but you're right.
no, 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 you fine. And I get it. I mean, but if you can still, I think I've always paid $2 a mile if a driver had his own truck. The lowest might have been 190, but it's rare. I mean, at the end of the day, but I think that depending upon who you deal with has a lot to do with that too, though. And we're never gonna get, I don't think, what we actually deserve without a higher entity stepping in, because we can ask for the rates, we can demand the rates outside of a strike, outside of a higher, some kind of government entity stepping in. Who's going to regulate the rate being a certain amount? Who's going to regulate because we have drivers that they're green, so they have that mentality, like you were talking
exactly.
about that company that we know of that does those advanced North Carolinas. And I've had some of their drivers come to me to do like side work, going to the same place, making more money. And they still felt like they wanted to stay, like you said, because of the consistency. I'm gonna be consistent, which at the end of the day it beats a blank. But if you can make more money and not have to run yourself as hard, it always works out a little easier that way.
Yeah, I agree with you, Face. It would be great if there was a larger entity that could come in and sort of regulate that situation. I know there was talks about uh, more transparency between shippers and brokers that was supposed to come out at the end of October. It's supposed to be some legislation. Uh, I'm sorry, it's kind of hard to hear. I don't know, BJ. I don't know if I'm
I got
catching
you. I got you.
your background.
I got you. Go ahead.
Thank. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, I was just saying there was supposed to be some legislation that came out about transparency of rates and to some degree. I haven't heard what happened with that, but just any kind of strides we can make in this industry to maybe, my proposal is a lot of the motor carriers in this area, not even the top 10%, the ones that are 25 trucks and below, those trucking companies sort of creating their own threshold. If we can band the smaller companies together, we can't be too concerned with what the larger carriers do. The larger carriers really don't even go out to the spot market like that. A lot of them have already contracts in place with certain direct shippers. So we're not too worried about the Givens and the Evans and those other folks who are just larger entities, or STG, places like that. We're talking about those smaller companies, the AOKs and I don't know, Polaris or somebody like that, like those lower companies. If we can all be in agreement of not lowering our rates beneath that $2 for our drivers, at least, and I'm not here to collude or anything like that, but I'm saying beneath that $2 a mark threshold, for example, we probably can, we would make a difference in our market. But until that happens, it is a very difficult battle to fight, and one that might never be won.
And one that may never happen.
Listen, I was
Indeed.
just going to say, probably never in our lifetime if it do. This is my opinion. Um,
Hey man, the crabs in the barrel does exist.
yeah.
I mean,
I go ahead.
go ahead, Rob.
I just think, I hate to say this, like the trucking game, we all got backgrounds. The trucking game is, man, the closest business to the street as you could ever be. So I'm gonna just leave it like that. And once dudes find out how to move the work and keep a lot of the profit, if they could give it to you for cheaper and cheaper, like you say, you got the new guys jumping in that don't understand what you possess is a special set of skills and you deserve a special set of pay. But you can't tell a guy that's coming in, just use an example, he used to making $500, $600 a week. Then he getting in this truck, he thinking that 1,200 he killing him. That's what he think. He done doubled his money. They pimping the shit out of They pimping the shit out of you, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then
And he
Lord
made that 10
forbid,
years ago. Still making
Yeah.
it to this day. And he still
Yeah.
he
so
does.
Lord forbid, now he go to the drive, he go to his company. Yeah, man, I need a bit. Now he making 1,500. You can't tell him nothing. But he don't realize what he running. He should be probably getting, just going out of there, he should probably getting $3 to $4 grand a week. But he don't know that. You know what I'm saying? And the company really guys like, see, so when I work for a company, I ain't gonna call no more names because I just throw one out, but y'all can catch on. But you got me coming in there and you talking about, yeah, man, this Tar Heel paying good at 200 to run down there to bring back some shit that's gonna blow out your springs on the way back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit, you crazy as hell. 200 ain't nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? But how can I complain when you got 8 drivers that stay there and they gonna run them all day and do shit for you? You know what I'm
Consistency.
saying?
That's what they're looking at. Yeah. It's like the Walmarts, right? How
Yeah,
many Walmarts can them guys do a day? They were ripping and running up and down 64. You see them always run into the tree line up there around Williamsburg and Newport News, man,
yeah,
because they killing themselves over the $200 box, and that price
Yeah.
is what it was 10 years ago when they built that
Yeah.
distribution center.
Yep.
However long it was,
Yep.
like it
Yep.
ain't went up no more. Now you fighting even more for and on all Walmart is doing is just continuing for them everyday low prices. that
yeah.
that rate for doing them Walmarts continuously go down, and them guys are just like, you know what? I'm just gonna get out here at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm just gonna be the
Yeah.
first one in line. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
run up there, and it's been the same price.
Yeah.
If anything, it probably went down a few more dollars,
Hmm.
while everything else has went up. Like, but guys looking at it from consistency standpoint. So, is
Yeah.
volume the name of the game, or is it quality? We got to make a determination on that.
Here's another good question. I'm gonna see if be clear enough to hear. Oh, he got this on mute. He muted
Huh?
himself. What? I guess he muted himself. Uh, okay, yeah, he muted himself. I'm gonna ask this question.
Nah, I wanted to chime in on that pay because y'all talking crazy.
Go
Because
go
I'm
ahead.
confused. I'm confused. Are we talking drivers? Are we talking owner operators? Now,
He
when y'all
talking
talking that money.
on the operator status.
Oh, okay. Cause I mean, you can get it misconstrued now the way y'all talking. Like I don't care what none of y'all talking about. What somebody deserve to get paid? Goddamn, you talking? Well, what I'm gonna talk about is operational costs. I'm not
Yeah.
paying nobody no driver no $3,000 no week if my operational costs goddamn it hitting for $4 grand a week, and we ain't bringing nothing but sand. What I'm gonna pay myself? What the district gonna make?
Nah,
That's why I
he
wanted to
asked that
stand 50-50.
George had asked that before he started. I mean, no, George made the statement. Then Face asked, "Are you talking?" Because he started off the same way you did. He was like, "Shit, are you talking about drivers or you talking about owner operators?"
Yeah,
You know what
I
I'm
heard
saying?
that. I heard that. I heard that. But then y'all went on to go. You went on, Rob, and said, the drivers making this, that, and the third, and they no, man, no, that no, them people
Nah, I'm
deserve
talking
that.
about like when you got a guy to come in. Let's like we just stated. For instance, the guy come in. Let's go. We'll use the Walmart box for example. Like you said, they paying the low rate of 200. That's the low rate. That's the low rate. But now I got this guy that just came in. I know he just came out of the penitentiary and he don't know nothing about the truck job. So I tell him, man, you ain't going nowhere right there to Williamsburg. I'm gonna pay you
Opera,
100. Just
opera,
hold on.
you talking about an operator, a owner operator, right? Or you talking about a driver?
Yeah, I don't care how you do it. I'm just
Oh,
talking about
owner
like
operator.
cutting the price. So
Yeah. He's hungry.
yeah, so I bring whether you own the operator, whatever. Okay, we'll go on the operator. Say I'm paying the owner operators $200 a box. Just using that example to go to Williamsburg to the distribution and back. Hey, I got this new owner operator come in, just got this truck straight out of the penitentiary, ain't got no money. So I tell him, well, I can get you some consistent, but it don't pay nothing. I give you about 125, 135 a box. And he jump on it. He think he killing them. But the
I mean,
200 was already pimping him. You know what I'm saying? So I
but see,
shot it to see if he go for it. So
but
then
see,
when his buddy come on, I tell him, well, slow. He got on 135. I can get it to you for $100 a box because he told you need a job and he already told you it was tight. So that's how the game get fucked up. So eventually now we look at it 3, 4 years down the line, they paying us $75 a box because dudes jumping on it when there's already the 200 they was paying, they was underpaying, but they could do it over and over because dudes like fuck it. So now instead of me going to get them 3 boxes a day, I'm gonna try to run 6 because they paying me $75. But no fucking way. It should never happen. That's what we speaking of. Not on the case where the box paying $1,000 and you take it for 950. Nah, that all right, cool. We ain't talking about that. We talking about where you can chop your nuts getting chopped out. You know what I'm saying? Those situations.
well, see, I'm gonna tell you, I done been in like on the boat on the like. I mean, I don't know if y'all any of y'all boys that was running them ports in 2022. 2022,
Hmm.
I swear to God, I don't even the ports were so good to me. I don't even know why I thought about going over the road.
It was booming there. If I'm not
The
mistaken, I think this
20,
year I broke my leg.
2022, I
for,
had my
for about
driver in the
two
Porsche.
quarters.
Huh?
For about 2 quarters, it was name your
It was
price
like
for
two and a
about two
half. It was
quarters.
2.5. We was 2.5, 3 quarters,
All
man.
right, but by that summertime, the bottom started falling out of that joker.
No,
I
yeah, no,
know
yeah, yeah. The
you're right
bottom.
though,
No,
BJ.
I'm gonna say George.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say fall. I'm gonna say fall, man. Cause I mean, I still, my driver. But we was working 6 days. Well, I say we. He was working 6 days a week. We was still at the port. I was running with QFS. I was running up with the QFS, and we was still bringing home $6, 62. I think like I say 58, 58, 57 was the least we was bringing home a week.
yeah, yeah.
That's what the
That's
check
true.
was, and that what the check was. My driver was loving it. He had been
Yeah,
in the game. My driver had been in the game since 2014. He ain't never
yeah.
seen no munyon like I was paying a munyon, and I said, huh? I thought I was, I was like, so let me speak to it on that level. So I'd have had a couple guys come drive for me. They tried to 60-40 me, 70-30 me. I told them, I gave him Rob number. Go ahead, Rob got a truck for you. And Rob, because I'm looking at operational costs. You understand me? And I'm like,
And see, that's what
so,
drivers
so,
always have this delusion of grandeur,
e-
and they want to make all the money,
exactly. That's what.
but they
That's what.
don't want any of the expense. They don't want to pay
Exactly.
that insurance. They don't. Hey man, if they going down the road and that tire blow out and that road call costs you 500 for a tire or may pop at that, at the end of the day, what do you do? Do you charge the driver half? They don't want none of that responsibility, but they want to make all the money. Hey man,
Listen,
it costs for everything you do with a truck. There's a cost
I'm
down
gonna
to
tell.
changing a filter. There is a cost.
I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna tell you what I had a conversation with an old head, right? And I get it. I understand. I heard Rob and I heard everybody say, the severity of the driving, this, that, and the third. And then we going cross country, going through the snow up the mountains. Yeah, but around in this local stuff, I'm telling you, I'm finna pay you what I feel like you're worth. And we ain't gonna start your worth based off what the truck making. I told a dude one time, I said, listen, man, school bus drivers was getting paid $18 at the time, and they carrying human beings. Pen train drivers, they just started making $21. They carrying human beings. And these dump trucks, you carrying aggregates. Why should I pay you more than them people getting paid and they carrying people? Just make it make sense to me. If you can make that make sense to me, then we can talk about your pay rate getting higher than theirs. Other than that, don't talk to me. Go on somewhere else. I'm gonna give you somebody else's phone number. That's what
Hey,
I'm gonna do for
just like you said, I ain't even gonna try to make it make sense. Hey, I'm gonna call you back. Call me back.
you. real, real simple. Real, real simple. Look, and listen, you gonna do both of us a favor.
Yeah. Hey,
You
listen.
gonna do
And Face can tell you, I ain't gonna argue with a man about what he.
You're not supposed
Yeah,
to. You're not supposed to argue with no man. You're not supposed to juju no man price or pay rate or none of it. You move on until you come back. When you come back, then you can't even
we
start off where you left
we
off at when you come back now.
we gonna speak on it one time. It may be, and that's what any come down with. Hey, man, this he paying so and so for this load. It's either I'm accepted or I ain't. It's either I don't want to run that because my biggest thing I make sure and Face can tell you, and I ain't hard on it because it just be certain things that you don't make no sense. Like okay, for
See,
instance, I work for him. I never had a anyway he sent me that I said I won't going. You know what I'm saying? But it's been other companies I work for, and it's been, hey man, your biggest thing is no force load. So that $135 load, $40 load, you trying to send me way out of state? Nah, you get
but
up to somebody else.
but hold up
Uh,
though, Rob. Let's speak on what you said with your chest about 30 minutes ago. Now,
yeah.
since you said it with your chest now.
Mm-hmm.
That pre-trip, that
Mm-hmm.
pre-trip can prevent, and I'm gonna speak on what Faith talking about. That pre-trip probably can prevent that $500, $600 tire that you don't want to pay for down that road now. Now, if you want to get
Now
paid
since
all
we
this
speaking on,
money, hold up. You want to get paid all this money on, then do your job and save me a whole lot of money.
Oh yeah,
Do your
I don't
job
have no
every
problem.
day, all day, like I pay you to do, and save me a whole lot of money.
Yeah, as you say, speaking on that with my chest, that's true. But when I tell you I do my pre-trip and I supposed to shut this motherfucking truck down because XYZ ain't right, and you say run that load, now you open that box.
Oh
So
yeah,
don't
yeah,
come to
yeah,
me
yeah,
and
hundred
say,
percent, 100%, 100%.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that's how I carry it. Now,
yeah,
now,
hundred
now,
percent.
face
Yeah.
on, he can tell you. I done called him before. I ain't had to let him know, but it's just me letting him know. Hey man, I was making a U-turn. I popped the airlines. I'm gonna run over here. As I see as a truck stop down the street. I'm
You
gonna go back.
sorry, motherfucker.
And first thing he say, how the hell you wrap them shits around the whip, man? I ain't know it pop. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna run down here, and I had to buy riches and everything. But I put it on. Matter of fact, he was in Florida. When I
But
called him,
look,
he had to
I'm gonna
worry
say,
about nothing. I put him on, I fixed him, and I brought that shit on back down. If I wouldn't
I,
have called him, he would have knew nothing about it. But I called him because that's what I'm supposed to do because he stayed on top of his shit. So I called him.
exact. You look, but you did everything you should have done because you
Not
did it.
yet. Now, on the other hand, I don't work for a motherfucker. Hey man, they want you to go down the road with some raggedy shit that's gonna cost everything on your end, and you gonna underpay me. Don't come to me talk about no pre-trip no more when I done told you all week about 4, 5 things a day that's fucked up and ain't nothing ever been fixed. Yeah, I'm gonna crank this bitch up and go on down the road. That's how you run your business. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, but
as an operator,
that can
yeah,
ultimately hurt your CSA scores and stuff like
Yeah.
that. We had a driver who
exactly.
did the same thing. He was in the guys who owned the equipment. He was in their truck. Nothing happened to the truck owner's record. It happened to the driver's record. He had got like 140 CSA points. He's the one that got the out of service on his record, not the truck owner.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, you going out there and you know that equipment is not roadworthy and you making a decision to drive, it could be detrimental to you and you trying to go find a job at another, especially a reputable company. They're gonna do that background check on you. They're gonna look at those. Trust me, I see it every day when we send up drivers for applications and try to get drivers leased on. And my corporate safety department don't look like any of us on this chat right here. And they look at that and they look at his name, they look at what's going on, and they're like, nah, I don't think we bringing on Javante today. So,
Well,
that's just what
if
happens.
the truck owner got his DOT number, that stuff go up there.
Yeah, but we're not in our situation. We're looking for owners who, who have a truck but don't necessarily have their own authority or have, any DOT numbers. So,
Oh, okay,
hell, they
yeah.
don't even want to get their own license plate. We don't have a plate program, and I can't tell you for how many
That'll
times I've
deter you.
seen drivers walk right out of the door. It's a deal breaker for them.
Yeah.
We provide everything else for them under the sun, but we don't provide a plate. And because we don't provide that plate for their business, because they're a business owner, then they walk out the door. And I think that's really unfortunate because you could be walking away from a great opportunity. I think the least you can provide as a business owner for your truck is a license plate and a
Man,
portion
guys
plate.
think
But
yeah,
George,
But
at the end of the
that's
day,
because they don't know that's because they don't know they don't that's because they don't know that they will save money if they buy their own plate. Because them hey they'll hit you. They hit you for
but
them plates.
that's also, like you say, knowing what is going on. And not only that, but don't go into a situation looking to get the easiest way out. Because hey, if you get your authority or if you go somewhere else and you decide to leave and go where they don't have a tag program, hey man, you still gonna have to pay for the tag. So, oh, I'm gonna go here, and I done had some drivers do it. They might run a load, help me out. The next thing you know, uh you got a tag program. Nah, then they don't want to come, then they don't, you know what I mean, because at the end of the day, oh, they gonna pay for my tags, they gonna pay the insurance, they gonna pay everything, take a little bit out my check a week that's gonna add up to twice of what it actually costs. But because I don't have to pay it all at once and I don't have to come in with any money, at the end of the day, this is a no-brainer for me. I'm gonna go in with nothing but a truck. I'm gonna make some money, and I'm gonna go from there.
Well, you know,
Yeah,
we come
yeah,
up in that we come up in that generation, man, that can't pay $200, can't pay $200 at a time now, but they can pay $50 a week now. They can't pay $200.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
We come
yeah,
from that
one thing,
generation now. We
one thing I can also
Rent a Center started that now. Rent a Center showed us how to do that now.
One other
Go
thing
ahead,
I
Joe.
can see is a lot of guys are getting tractor tags now, Virginia only tags. And before I was like, okay, you want to come on with the Virginia tags? Not what I really want. I'd rather get a portion tag so I don't have to worry about it for the rest of the year. But some guys still want to do the quarterly tags. And I don't know how many of you all are aware of this, but Maryland has some new law that's come into effect where you can only get, I believe it's three trip permits for the year, for the entire
yeah,
year. You can't
yeah,
get
yeah,
no
yeah,
more
yeah,
than
yeah,
three.
yeah. It's been
Yeah,
So
like
if
that
you
hello.
though.
can't get no more than three, once those are up,
It's
you can no
RNK.
longer go to New Jersey, Delaware, places like that because you have to cut through Maryland for a lot. You can't go to Pennsylvania, all those different places up north. You can't do anymore in that area because you didn't get. I mean, you don't have apportion plates,
And
and
they
so
and they
they
be
killed the
on they
game.
be on
Maryland
it.
did something crazy.
Yeah,
They be on it.
it's been like that though. For I think it's been a couple of years because I tried that, and last year before last when I was running the quarterly tags, and they wouldn't give me a trip permit after the third permit, and for what reason they don't say, but yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, you said a year and a half.
Yeah,
I'm thinking I done had drivers go up there, but it was after the Key Bridge collapse when I've noticed it happen.
oh no, it was before that. It's been at least a year.
At least a year. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, that'd be
where
quite
they
possible.
wouldn't let you go with those tags like that.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
get
So
but
that's
so
kind
many
of messing you up.
permits.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, they
That's
switching the game up on us now. So it's probably more. I think they're trying to push folks to get those apportion tags because maybe they're tired of issuing trip permits and things of that nature. They just say get the tags. That way you don't have to worry about dealing with a regular trip permit
and
anymore.
it's cheaper too. I mean, when you look at paying
Yeah,
1,800 for the year and
yeah,
550 every 3 months, it is
yeah,
definitely cheaper. And then you don't have to worry
yeah.
about the permits.
Right,
You got to
right.
pay your
Indeed.
IFTA and your stickers, but at the end of
Right.
the day, the money that you pay, you're gonna have to pay it
you gonna
regardless. So
you gonna
I
make
it's
the
agree.
just
money
one of those
doing it.
things you
You
got
gonna
to
make the
do.
money running up there. So
Yeah,
all them trip permits every speaking on that company again. Going to Carolina, you got to get them trip permits, and
It's
yeah, that's
like they
just
want to take the cheaper route out as long as they did all this to get the truck on, maybe an inspection or whatever the case may be, fix whatever there. Now I just want to get. Now I will say this: I think the DMV system need to be reformed. I would hope some political administration changes the way it is. I think number one, I think there should be a satellite office for the DMV in this area for commercial vehicles. There's no reason where I can't go to the DMV in this local area, and this has the third largest port on the East Coast. We got to deal through Richmond for a lot of things pertaining to
everything.
commercial vehicles. There should be at least one satellite office in Hampton Roads area that deals with that. I also think the process shouldn't take a month to get an
Yeah,
IRP plate. I think
yeah,
that
yeah.
process needs to speed up too. So
that's a whole lot
I
of
think when I
time.
go
It's not like
through
that in North Carolina though. You can go to North Carolina and get your tags the same day.
wow,
You can go
portion
in
plates.
there in Raleigh, and you can go in there. It's $1,800 and get your tags that day,
But you have to be a resident of Carolina, correct?
or have a business in Carolina.
I got what you're saying. I trust me. I hear in the air quotes all over it.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
I, I just said if there was some things that could be changed here, even going through the weigh station, like I shouldn't have to get out to show to you that I got a permit. If you have all these
yeah.
devices and apparatuses out there to view my
Uh-huh.
license plate, if I
Yeah.
had to get it online through the DMV, there's no reason why you can't
Come
see
up.
based on my license plate that I have an overweight permit already. Why do I
Yeah.
have to
Especially
stop,
when you got
go out,
these
get in, and present it? That doesn't make sense
you
to me.
got these
So,
devices now that's giving out the tickets that automatically see
right.
if you on your cell phone. So how the hell
Yeah.
you can't tell me if I
If you
got a
don't have your
permit?
seatbelt on,
Yeah. What'd you
That's
say,
crazy.
Face?
if you don't have your seatbelt on, you can get a ticket. If they
Mm-hmm.
Right.
catch you
So
with
how?
that camera and you on your
Yeah.
phone, like you got your phone in your hand, oh
Yeah.
man, they at you.
I
But
think
how
the
you
first
don't know
one is
I have an overweight
900,
permit?
and the second one go to like 2,000. I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
So
was
how you
reading that
don't
the other
know
day.
it?
Somebody got hit.
Yeah, and they're treating you if you don't have a headset, a Bluetooth or whatever. They're hitting that almost like DUI these days.
Yeah,
Carriers don't even want to sign you on just because
Mm.
you wasn't wearing a headset. So
yeah.
they're taking that really serious these days. Trust me, I know.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you guys long. I just wanted to touch on one thing, and I think Mike, you had this question when we talked too. Um, I don't know, it was a couple of things, but I wanted to speak on the mountains. That's what I did want to talk about. And when we was talking about the stick shift and PJ got off, but I did want to speak on that. Like, I forgot, Mike, you had a question about the mountains. If not, I could bring up something real quick.
Yeah, like just like as a person who drive through them, like what's the difference in driving through like interstate compared to driving through, them back like the West Virginias, the going into Ohio's and go Tennessee, those mountains, like what's like the feel y'all get, or the differences in how you drive through.
Well,
Drive
just
slow,
pay
be safe, and
attention to that decline.
don't get your butt cheeks too tight because you might catch it if you don't know what you're doing out there. No offense, but hey man, it's a lot of weight behind you when you're going down those hills, and
You
when
gonna
you're
feel it.
going up them, you gotta have the right the knowledge of where to be with the truck to get up that hill. But I know some individuals that went out there and first few trips and they wound up in the runaway ramp where messing around. So you got to be safe out there. You got to be safe anyway. But I
Especially
don't
safe.
like the mountains. I ain't leave nothing in the mountains. But if I go, you gotta be cautious, man, at all times. Like anything can happen. Rocks falling, uh, accidents, going too fast, going down the mountain. Like hey man, make sure you're geared right, your brakes right. It's just a lot that you gotta know. You can't just drive it like it's normal every day. You
And
can't do it.
the biggest thing with trucks in general, a lot of the times, like the media, the news, everything make you think, oh, the truck driver's this, the truck driver that. A lot of the time, is as we call them, it's you motherfuckers in the four wheelers. You are the most dangerous thing on the fucking road. You would cut a guy off. Like, man, you got videos now. The guy's just swerving in front of nobody on the road with him in the truck. He's swerving from the truck, brake checking them, doing all that. You never know what that truck is carrying when you do that. Like, you putting your own life at danger every time you do that. And I say when you go through the mountains, man, like you say, you gotta be safe. And like BJ, I was talking to BJ, the sticks come in and different things. You gotta learn how to make that engine work for you. That engine works for you. You got to learn how to work it. You got to learn how to use it. You got your Jake brakes. Use everything you got at your hands in the safe way, the way it's supposed to be used. And when you get real, not when you get in them real mountains and you get them flashing lights, you see them for about 2, 3 miles before you hit that start going down the hill. Pay attention to what it's about to telling you. If it's telling you about to drop so and so and so, and they got the little snake looking shit so many miles, pay attention, bro. Get that gear down before you even get to that. Don't wait till you start going down and try to get it down. Because if you miss, you at the road.
So,
Yeah. I
yeah,
was trying. I
yeah.
was about to say it, but yeah, man. So you gotta make the truck work for you, and you gotta. But that's when you come in and knowing your craft and your skills. A lot of guys that go out there that's not ready, they think they went across a couple of bridges. I'm like, bro, that ain't got nothing to do with them mountains when you get out there, bro.
Mm-hmm. That's very true advice. Definitely pay attention to the signs, like you guys say. I think it's also being aware, being aware of your gauges. Looking at your gauges, is that temperature gauge getting ready to shoot past 200? It probably will, but just monitor and see where it's going. Look at your air gauge, see if you're about to lose too much air. We got to keep that in mind that a lot of these trucks run on air brakes, so we got to be cognizant of that and take your time, even going up or coming down. That's why you see a lot of professional drivers. Some put their flashers on, in the right, and they're over to the right lane. I'm okay with that. You know where you're at. You know what you're doing. I respect that. If I have an empty, I might be able to go around you. At least, I know, you're taking your time going 25, 35 miles on the hill. As long as you're confident in what you're doing there, that's the most important thing, is taking your time. I stopped like Sandstone. I'm sure some of you fellas may have already been to Sandstone, West Virginia. They make it's mandatory that you get out and check your truck or check your brake. That also helps you wake up, so you're more alert as you get ready to take that steep. I think about 7 miles down Sandstone, where it's that deep decline. So set your gear. If you have a Jake brake, you may want to utilize that as an assistance. I like to use my trailer brakes. I'll burn up the chassis brakes
Oh
more
yeah.
so than I
Damn
will
right.
my
Oh
own
yeah.
brakes. So I'll gently pull down on my trolley valve time to time as I go down the hill, just to get a little more decrease in speed as I go down. So that's just my best advice with it.
But that's manual versus automatic too. It's a difference going down that mountain with that automatic. I mean, the Jake's gonna work, but you can't set your speed and lock in with that automatic like you can with that manual.
True.
That's a good heads up. Thank you. That's what I'm getting ready to get into the world of. So appreciate that.
Like I think, yeah, man, it's just gotta be safe. The mountains I done seen, and then like every off ramp may not be available. They don't clear them out fast enough. I done seen. Luckily, I done seen one time it was two in there, and
In the
by the
runaway
grace,
ramp.
listen, by the grace of God, the second truck, man, you probably could put your cell phone in between there. I guess he just say, "Fuck it,
Wow.
I'm gonna take my chances running up in there
Yeah.
instead of
Yeah.
because that's gonna grab him. At least the impact would slow down the better, But man, imagine you the next truck coming and you see that motherfucker. Some of them got the sign there to show you when they close. That one closed, and the next one 5 miles down the hill. Man, you might not make it.
And then when you get that
You
fifteen
might be on
thousand dollar
fire.
bill,
I think there's more successes than there are, Mike. I would just tell you, it's more success than there is, damages, I guess you would say, in the long run. So that's where you may feel a little sense of comfort knowing that more people survive it than not. So just keep that in mind.
And I just say this back to piggyback off earlier when we were talking about guys starting in the business or whatever. Like you were saying about the tag program. Most guys just want to buy the truck and then go to this company and have them put on the insurance, maintenance program, and everything else. And they don't even have the money to do the fuel for a week. So I
Right.
just say this like anything else you do, you gotta have a plan. Just don't jump in it because I told you you can make this money and they say this what he make. George say you do this. Like you gotta learn how it can work, learn how the business can work, and how you can work the business so you ain't driving yourself crazy.
and
Like
don't be afraid to listen, man. That's the thing. Like you can get a lot of knowledge from a lot of different people, and you're gonna hear a lot of the same things. But at the end of the day, what you need to understand is You're gonna make your decisions, but always understand what you've been taught and never be unwilling to learn. Because you always had that opportunity to learn, no matter what goes on, man. You're always gonna learn something new, and you're gonna go through situations that are gonna teach you. You may go through the same thing 3 different times, but at the same time, you can learn 3 different lessons from what took place. So just be willing to learn. Don't rush, and don't be greedy, man. Like that was one of the things that I wanted to say. You can't be greedy in a situation because you want to get ahead real fast and you go about it the wrong way. Trying to cut corners, trying to, sneak around this, sneak around that. Don't do that, man. Just do it the right way the first time. And once
That's
you
right.
train yourself to do it, then you don't have to worry about, a lot of the things that some of us drivers have gone through, or some of the drivers are going through right now. It's just it's a job that you have to be willing to put in time and work. It's not
Fact.
overnight. It's not gonna come instant. You're gonna have good and bad. You just got to be able to deal with the good the same way you deal with the bad, and understand the lesson learned and pushing through, man.
And once again, I always say this, and I use this because everybody got some type of street sense, or nowadays, even if they weren't in the streets, everybody study the streets like they want to be a part of the streets. Like that's the fad. So everybody can tell you street talk, but ain't never been a part of it. So I say this like trucking business is really the closest. It's identical to the streets. You got to find the guy with the right product for the right number for the right thing. And just because it works for Face doesn't mean it's going to work for you at this company. Just because it worked for George at that company don't mean it's going to work for you at that company. You got to find your own lane and get into it. Like you say, George may be comfortable running them lows for 1,000. You may want to do them for 12. The company might not want to do it. Or you may come with them doing for 9. Like you got to find what works for you and stick to what works for you. That's all I got to say. And just follow the rules, be safe, and do what you're supposed to do. Because they waiting to tax your ass. That's what they waiting to hit you. They waiting to find you for everything you did wrong. I'll tell you that now. They got a book of fines. They making up shit right now as we speak. So be ready for that.
Yeah.
Anything else, Mike, before we let the man go for the night?
Nah, I think I'm good, man. Appreciate y'all time.
I
And
know we had a lot of other things we wanted to talk about, but the conversation, I think when the guys come back and listen to this, they can learn a whole lot, man. I really appreciate you guys. Trucking is a big business, man. Around the world, we need more people getting into it. Trucking can help us in so many different ways, man. But we got to do it the right way. A lot of, like you say, a lot of guys just jumping in it, not doing the right things, man. Like take care of the equipment to make it at least drivable, serviceable equipment. There we can make anything happen. Thank you, George. Thank you, Face. And Mike, I always appreciate you, man. Appreciate
Appreciate
y'all for
y'all
being on
time and
the
hey,
information.
man, before
Thank you. Thank
we
you.
leave out, I want to say something. Uh, George made a few comments about uh, the knowledge, the working together, and the fact that there aren't other people in this venue right here that have other skin color than us. At the end of the day, this is what, as men, we're supposed to do: to enlighten somebody, to help somebody grow, to help somebody be a better individual at the end of the day, and what they feel like they want to do, and give them the knowledge and understanding. So at the end of the day, they're not timid or scared or worried, more than what they already might be. The ins, the outs, the goods, the bads. Uh, but this is something that needs to be done on a regular basis, because a lot of times that time and energy is not put into helping one another. It's put in more to hey man, I want to get over, or, he doing this and he got that. So at the end of the day, I want to, he better than me, or he got this, so he don't know. At the end of the day, we all got to share, man. And that's the only way that going forward, anything that we do will get better like that. And we got to be able to work together to help ourselves be better selves. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a great word. Rob, I just want to thank you myself, allowing me to be on your platform. Thank you for inboxing us and inviting myself on. It is truly a privilege, man, to be in a room with, like-minded individuals that have an aspiration for success and achieving in this industry. We know the challenges it presents every day, and that's why I think we keep turning our key every morning to get out there and do what we do, is because some of it we enjoy the countryside. We look at all the great, marvelous things that the Almighty has created, man, and we're just little ants in this little world, man. And just want to thank everybody for being respectful to everybody and giving fruitful knowledge, and it was a great conversation, great dialogue. So great discourse. So thank you all again. Really appreciate it, and hopefully maybe I'll be invited on once again in the future, and I'll try to make it up here. But
Hey, listen, pleasure, man. We live every Tuesday at 9, and anybody is always welcome. Like you say, whether you want to comment in the chats or you want to get on, any guest is always welcome to get on. We talk about plenty of topics. And Face, you just commented on something that made me say this. Like you said, bro, you're right, you dead on. Because one of my main reasons for being involved with God so passionate over the last 15, 20 years with the youth is when I started, it was also same thing, kind of like, you want to give back because you don't want the kids to do like we did. So many times in situations as we got older, how many times you was like, I wish somebody would have told me that when I was young. Nobody told me that. So with every kid I come in contact with, I try to give it to them the good and the bad. So at the end of the day, I know when they walk away, they can't say, well, ain't nobody told me. They gonna be like, in some situations, Coach Rob or whatever Rob, depending on what I'm doing with you. Rob told me that. I didn't pay attention. So I feel you on that, man. We gotta enlighten others and teach others and give back, man. So many times dudes want to be so selfish, and I think that's the problem with our community altogether. We want to have all the information and hold it on us. We can't use it. We don't got nothing to do with it. Instead of telling our neighbor, hey man, I know you got them trucks. The government just open up such that help you out. We ain't gonna tell them shit. We gonna like, shit, got them truck. I ain't gonna tell them shit. You know what I'm saying? That's how I go in our community, man. So thank you guys for coming on, man, and all our viewers. Watch this on YouTube. We'll be coming back soon with another episode. Good night.
Boy.
I just ended the live stream. Live stream is ended. Yeah, I appreciate